Hi, viewers. The sweet conversation of the Lord. I want to bless you with spirit strength wherever you are. I tell you quickly, as soon as you hear about this, you are healed. You are being delivered of something because the battle is the Lord indeed. The battle that is the Lord's is this, that He has ordained power on even babies, giving them power to do what they are supposed to do. Now, look down there is the western part of Nkonya here, the river Oti. Now, as you can see, I want us to look at something close and close. Let's take a closer view of what it feels like. The island over there, this side, yeah, that's an island. But our river is, of course, made of a whole lot. Islands everywhere. When you take a look at this in a very deep part, you see the beauty of the Lord from the west. This is the west. If I turn direct opposite to my back is the mountains. I'll show you one of these. It's always good. Come and support the good work that we are doing. Bring it to your closed doors, your doorsteps, the beauty that you need. Come and work and live in the better places. Don't think there's no building going on, conversations going on, things happening in life going on. They that are born spirit, living in flesh, they come to prove to you the whole world that God is living. God is not a stone served. God is not a carved wood. God is not a libation. God is not a church. God is nobody like that. But when God comes into being in the flesh, then you can know for sure He will teach you what you need truly. Healing is better and given all the time. We run through your body right now, every difficult situation right now over there, wherever you are, that if you are only walking on the path of righteousness, doing what is right, the Lord will not fail to give you a healing, the deliverance you need. God is awesome. Look, if you stand here in Nkonya, you can see from another community, like a nearby community, that is in Tumda. You can look at it from this distance that a moving vehicle is up there somewhere, far away, from this mast to the next mast over there. That's the road continues because we live in the valley, mountainous, plains, and all things, springs and rivers, streams, all things happening. I wanted to look at somebody and tell that person if we need to invest any longer, then let's come to the whole places where we have heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is where you see the natural things, having no one to even build their houses in those areas. But look at the beauty of this river. This is very large. I'm going to tell you this. This the whole river that extend is stretched to longer places. I'm going to tell you this. You only need what you're hearing because that's the whole thing that gives the healing. If you know the kind of air, the breath of life that is springing into our body right now, God is always good to walk to the places that there's a need to be there. Healing is possible. Of course, you need nobody to touch you before you are getting healing. For if they touch you of ungodliness, you also perish of that thing they touch you by. So it's better you allow the Spirit of God. If they can prove God in all things, then let the Spirit of God in natural and in spirit, let it meet you wherever you are. Now, now I know I'm talking to somebody because I mentioned my US, I mentioned my Israel, I mentioned my Canada. For some of you were brought into my table and on my table to just look at things happening. But God is speaking on your behalf in those places. Now, if there never existed any God, I must tell you this today, that there's a God that lives. That God sent his own messengers, not pastors. Pastors are not messengers of God. Take it now. Both pastor and most of the prophets are not prophets. It's because they are working through some kind of medium. And that medium, I'm not saying has nothing though, but I'm saying is because that is not the gate. The gate is where the Spirit itself lives, so that you allow God of heaven, even as Nehemiah prayed to God of heaven. Jude in the Bible said to the wise God. So they can be God, a lot of things that they call God, but to the wise one. So that if you invest so much in the wise places, we will live. Even if somebody move you out of your own land that they didn't want you to live, God can show you a place to live. Let's look at the whole place. This is the down lanes. I'm just standing in the hilly part of my town. That is the natural place. Walk and walk. Exercise is natural. Physicals, you can also embark on such a journey. I want somebody to know that God is not of such evil that when you do good, he will reward you with evil. But when you search for him in the righteous path, he will definitely not fail you. He will give you something. I want us to bear witness to the heavens and the universe that if I stand here in the name of the Lord, the Spirit of God has love. Let nothing deceive you, but I live, and so you should live. Those who have walking with me, so they live, because God have extended His mercy. That people pray in mercies. This time is no longer mercies. It is for what unconditional love is. Whatever helps you now these days is nobody's prophecy. For you are told already, prophecies shall fail. It is written. I don't want us to go there. When you take a watching power, just stay by. Learn what I have also ordained. For when heaven ordains, nobody can you have no such thing to say that it wouldn't work. It stands. This thing is already standing on its own foundation. We are not building on some foundations of blood of people and blood of that thing. And this is virgins talking. And I am the same husband. I am the same love. That's why I call you to come in. Not that I just need anybody to come in, but they that truly are walking in goodness, righteousness, for they should be given what they are hearing now. Look at it down, the very down. Are we not seeing buildings? Oh, yes. So is this place a village? No, this is a city, heaven on earth. We can tell anybody, we can stand in all places and tell you heaven on earth, because the heaven that we're talking of is moving. It's a kingdom that moves. It's like a city flying and descending on places and also what, taking off again. That's what heaven is. Heaven is not in one place. I want to tell this, because if this side is not good for you, you have to move to another place until you find God in that place. Not just God. For when you hear God, that is not a full meaning of what you need. It is the spirit of Him that is it. Her Majesty. You don't know God moved by both male and female. That is same God. So if you don't have your God working like this, that is not God. Just throw that God away and move on. Look for another God that can give you life, health. For if you are given health, then you can fight your battles. But if health alone is failing you, you cannot make it. Now I want to tell this. If you need to give me money to support the cause for you, to build something for you, something that you cannot do, is because I need to give you good health. Wherever you are, the Spirit of God, irrespective of your distance, whether you are in up space or in the depth of anything, I tell you, God can quicken your body in that place. The Spirit of Him can quicken your spirit also, and to your flesh, that your spirit's flesh will testify to the glory of Him that liveth. God is awesome. We are not worshiping anybody's foundation of thing that is trying to prove us truth. That is not truth. I have my working power. It's working every day. Everything, whatever I show you, is working already. Now, let me turn quickly to this side. I want to tell this. This is what I'm saying. Now, if there be a God that lives as flesh, human, and spirit, look at my mountains. So this is the direct opposite of what I was showing you. This is the mountain. Look at what is happening on the mountains. So let the living God not fail what is promised to do. But let him who promised and failed be that liar that Christ said from the beginning. The devil who deceived you is a liar. He killed from the beginning. Let nobody deceive you by what you are saying. For what you are saying, that's not what God is. I'm telling you, trust the word. Trust the Spirit of God. Whatever you are seeing with your physical eyes, that's not what God has promised you. But when you walk on the righteousness, in the good part, enter heaven. So if the kingdom of heaven is a man, is like unto a man or a woman that is moving from place to place, healing people, healing the land, healing the whole place, whether you are a stone or flesh, whether you are a street or light, whether you are, whatever you are, call it, name it. I'm telling you that God is faithful. So God being faithful is a spirit. So when you look for a spirit, you will find a spirit. But it's not easy. It's not just a one-day work. So that they that grab it as one day kind of thing, they got it as gift, but they cannot also be like the one who carries it. Now, I just spin around 360 and I'm facing the west again. So this is the western part of what? The whole world. When I face here is the south, because this side is the south. This is the path that leads to Accra. But you go at a long round and place yourself somewhere here. Now, if I turn direct opposite to this side, where we are seeing this tree, that's why you have those people under tree worshiping something. So this one tells you this is the northern part. That is what you need to know. But I stand in a place where we have reservoir water. So this is why we supply the whole earth, the whole heavens. This is why we supply the whole people living. Looking for life, then look at it here. This is why we need life. So if I stand in a hilltop and I sponsor you with life and spirit, breath of life, and you don't know, you think it's a prophet, That prophet, let him do what he's supposed to do. Because if his righteous things has not touched us, he will never enter heaven. For we don't know who made him a prophet. Let God of heaven, here, as I show you the heavens, this is it. So I stand on a hill also telling you another heavens. So this is yet another heavens. Now I descend onto this very mountains. Here is another heaven. Now I walk down here, you see the path. This path was made and constructed by what? Both a Germany company, like a German company and an Israel company. So that's what we say is true. Let nobody stand anywhere and just decree any decree that has not been given to them. Are we not seeing mountains? Even I stand on one of these places. Look at it. Where I stand, this is it. I stand on one of these places, a hill path. God is holy, and so must his people be holy. Let your husband, let no man deceive you that you are the husband or wife. For he that is one of these have life already, and declaring the works of God, not trying to sow seed again. But when we ask you bring the money, I strengthen the dollar. So you all check your dollars and see what it is now. This few days for the past week, like today's being 7th day, I have strengthened the dollar. Check your account and see if you receive it and you have also given out to the ones who are working for you that you didn't know. Because you don't chat with me. And I tell you that we also don't belong to the church. Because kingdom does not belong to the church. It's the church that is looking for a way to say that whatever they do may please the Lord and they will be taken in. So the church, kingdom is not going to the church. But the church is trying to enter the kingdom. Because it is kingdom that brought the churches. As one of the kingdoms of God or heavens that brought it. That's why Christ spoke more of, he spoke more of what? Kingdom of heaven to you than kingdom of God unto you. For you were living in the kingdom of God and you didn't know it. So he that comes from heaven, the heaven sent on this earth, is the one that surely should tell you about what the truth is. It's not about Bible. Your Bible is not complete, I'm telling you. Hey, it's not about Quran. Your Quran is not complete. I'm telling you on all levels. Whoever claims to be something, I'm not doubting that you have something. I know there's something in your book that you don't even know. But let me tell you that nobody should teach me so that when I tell you, then you better. It's better you understand that the understanding is giving you what you need. Here's what you need. Now, next, right from here, I'm going to show you something. So that we are not boasting of nothing, but a vegetation. Who planted it? There's a man that did it. There's a spirit of God that did it. He has flesh also. I hope you can see. It is drizzling already. For healing is assured everywhere, every time. I want to tell you that it's only the Spirit of God that can do things by a miracle, instant, surprising, all things and all flesh, where God quickens you. It is my standing place that I made holy, not where you worship God. For God does not dwell in any unholy things. God does not dwell in ungodly things. God does not dwell with even people who don't obey or follow instructions. How did he give yourself unto him to use you completely, that you become one of him like him? Like he created you now in his own image, in his likeness. We see all the beauty of the levels of heavens on earth. And let not heaven fail what he has also promised. I know there's a healing that is required right here. We need it all. So if God is doing something right now, justice of his majesty, my throne is where I stand. So that if you build it, it shall be a throne that you shall also look up to. For whether you are in west, east, north, south, you need a holy place. That there should be what? A living God. That there should be a living God that simplifies the meaning of Emmanuel being interpreted as God with us. So if God with you, would you go to the hospitals before you are healed? No, then you should have your healing started from the house. So that when you go to the hospital, you know that the same God that started it with you will finish it up in that hospital. If not, you end up being in the hands of your wicked people. So God is awesome, powerful. God is not proven by what you think. God is different in all things already. Let God be for you and you see what he can do. Now, if I stand here and say, I promise you to have fish, this because I have river, I have lake. I don't call it river or whatever, but until I give it a name. Because you don't know what I might change this thing for in the next few hours again. Are we not seeing the beauty of the nature? It's rained several hours and we continue to live in the places of the Lord Almighty. Let nobody deceive you. Let no church deceive you that they can send you to heaven. Let the one who said, I will take you to heaven be the one you need in your life. Do not invest and invest wasting it. Even in this place, there's a foundation. Look at it. Someone has raised a foundation here. Come and look at it. So this is not a land of somebody because this is a rock. So if anybody claims to build in this place without leaving the space that made it, my friend, we'll move it down. Because it is good that you can build in this place, but don't come and use it for all that it is. Like you have husband and wife having sex, this and that. My friend, if you are not careful, then it's better this thing is moved out of the place. You don't have a land on this place that I stand. For the original comes to tell you where life exists. So that you don't come here and mess up the place. Like you see boiler goods like trash of things. You are not to build in the places of the Lord. If I'm not building here, you cannot build here. What I use it for is different from what they might use it for. Let God be God. So I did not condemn what foundation being raised over here. But it's because the same God that is building it is showing you what is happening here. All you can say is truth. Because we have something already telling that we are using this a whole of life. So if God send you here for healing, that is, you should go there. I'm telling you the fact that you may have got